I mean, who needs a Terminator machine when you've got a human that's had their thinking process turned off? Dr. Begich?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, there's a lot of work being done now because of post-traumatic stress syndrome of wiping out memory. Now, I would be very concerned about this because of several reasons. One is you wipe the memory clean on the surface, you may not wipe it out. In other words, you continue to play with it in your subconscious, which could lead to huge and new forms of psychosis. The other thing is what if all those troops were involved in some illegal, immoral, unethical, evil activity that normal human beings wouldn't participate in, which is why they're experiencing post-traumatic stress syndrome, and that what you're trying to do is wipe out their memory so you can deny that whatever they saw or participated in never happened. That's my concern.
Well, that's like studies show that people don't get very depressed when they see killing as something that was in defense or righteous, but your brain actually attacks you if it thinks you've done bad. Even if you've rationalized consciously, your subconscious wants to kill you.
Yeah, and it's I think we're playing in an area that is very, very dangerous. Trying to wipe out a memory rather than deal with what it is that has changed the person. We do the same thing in this country every day with chemicals issued by doctors instead of people sitting down with counselors getting to the root of their problems. Now we want to just wipe out the memory so we can excuse bad behavior. I don't think it's a good idea.
Doc, I won't keep you any longer after the break. We'll just do 2 minutes and plug Earth Pulse and your work and how folks can support it, and we'll let you go. Then I'll get into all the big news, folks, and more of your calls. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Infowars.com and their side, of course, we'll give you on the other side of this break.
We now take you live
to the Central Texas Command Center
in the heart of the resistance. You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
All right, we're going to let Dr. Begich go. I've got a huge news blitz I must cover. I promised myself this morning I would get to at least, the headlines here, and I've gotten to some of it. But Dr. Begich, we're going to have you back very soon. I blinked my eyes and a year goes by. We hadn't had you on in about a year and a half. He's back with us here today. But there's a lot of different sites folks can visit. We sell your books and videos. People can get them at earthpulse.com. What are some of the other sites people can visit to find out about the exciting stuff you're doing?
Well, the Earth Pulse site has, a lot of articles and information. A lot of free information, incidentally, is there as well. But, if people want our books and videos, go to Infowar.com. Support Alex's work and mine by doing that, and I appreciate it. The other thing I can say is I mean this sincerely, I really appreciate the prayers I get from listeners. And I don't want to understate that. I need that every day, and I appreciate it. And,
same here, and that's what I really want is people's love and their prayers, and I want everybody to know my love and prayers are going right back out at you.
Well, and I appreciate it, and more than anyone will ever know, and there's a lot left to do, and I look forward to this year. What's coming in this year and what's coming in the future is liberation and liberty again in our individual lives and hopefully in the world around us.
Well, that's why the system is so scared in closing. They can feel and see what we feel and see.
That's absolutely it. And we are the force. We were created to be good stewards of this planet. We were created to lift each other up. That is our obligation to the creation itself and to ourselves and to our next generation. I look forward to the work that's before us and the challenges. And at the same time, know that we don't walk alone. We all walk with friends, and we'll continue to meet each other as life takes us down our trail.
God bless you, Dr. Nick Begich. We look forward to speaking to you again in the near future.
God bless you and your listening audience. Take care now.
All right, amazing talking to him. He's, the last few years, really not been doing anything. And now he is back and not even recharged, just more informative and insightful than ever. And everybody, either people are giving in more to evil and corruption and getting more into that, or they're getting more into freedom and liberty. And I can just feel it every day. I can hardly contain myself. I mean, but then it's also very frustrating to see all the corruption and bad things growing as well. And I don't even so much get angry as I just get motivated to sweep these people aside, because I can just see them. I can tell you they're weak. I know they're bad. And it's because we haven't stepped into who we really are that they've been able to get away with this. It is a joke. It is a joke. It's like watching an ant whip an elephant. And that is absolutely backwards. Okay. When I see stories like this, it makes my mind, as I said in the first hour, explode in 1,000 fractals of understanding. It's like a shake and bake. It's like box-made brownies or biscuits. I mean, all you do is add milk. It's a prepackaged tropism. It's always done the same. How do we know different terror is staged? We look at it. It has all the same characteristics, the patsies, the people being protected, the setups, the giving them the passports, their boss being Pentagon run. And when I saw the bombing in Egypt over the weekend, I was pleased, let it be real Muslim terrorists. Please, please. That's much less scary in my gut than knowing the government's doing it. Please, 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 please. Please let 911 be the way they say it is. But it isn't. And it's always the same story. They were being protected. The police had folks evacuate. There was inside knowledge. Government intelligence was involved. It's always the same. They're going to use it as a crackdown measure. I mean, you think I'm happy that Anwar al-Awlaki, one of the top al-Qaeda people, is admittedly a Pentagon secret asset and running the attacks? I mean, I'm not concerned about a bunch of ragtag idiots running around in the desert. Ragtag idiots can't pull off 9/11, ladies and gentlemen. They didn't, okay? And it's the same thing. This top Pentagon aide to Bush, senior and junior, and Reagan, involved in all sorts of very suspicious things. We've done research on him. In the White House, in the Pentagon, he's found in a trash can that was then dumped into a landfill. Now, in Fahmy Malik fame, the Arkansas Medical Examiner, they killed people. That is, someone in the government killed people. And then Fahmy Malik would declare it suicide when they'd been shot, arms and legs cut off. I mean, ridiculous stuff, okay? It'd be like saying I cut my own arms and legs off and then put myself in a trunk and threw it in the Atlantic Ocean. It's impossible. But a few days ago, we learned he's dead. Dead in a landfill. And now they want to imply that he was a bad guy, showing that he must have gotten some information out to the media or somebody, and now they want to discredit him. Now they want to discredit him ahead of that info coming out. Now, get ready for this. This has drugged up mind control written all over it. That's what it has written all over it. Or something similar. Because it's always the same MO. They always do stuff like this. Disoriented and wearing just one shoe. Bizarre last sighting of top White House aide found murdered and dumped in a landfill. Top Pentagon aide found dead at a landfill site was seen in confused state 48 hours before his death, wandering around the car park and wearing only one shoe. John Wheeler was disoriented and not wearing a coat despite the freezing temperature, according to the car park attendant in Wilmington, Delaware. Asked if he felt okay, the 66-year-old simply replied, no. The following day, he was also seen wandering around the town in the last sighting before his body was discovered, dumped into the landfill. Now, it gets even more insane. This is out today, the 5th of January, 2011. Here's the next one. Man found in landfill tied to arson attempt. John P. Wheeler III planted incendiary devices at neighbor's home in Delaware days before his disappearance. And this is from the Delaware police. Do you believe any of this? I mean, I hope they don't find yours truly dead in a landfill sometime and then claim I put bombs in my neighbor's house. Now he's a terrorist? You really believe this? Now he's Al-Qaeda. What do I go to Walmart and report him to Big Sis? Police found evidence linking John P. Parsons, Wheeler III, to devices planted at the Newcastle home of a neighbor with whom he had been feuding, said the source. who was close to the investigation. And then on top of it, he's running around drooling in the freezing temperature with one shoe. They got him, drugged him up, threw him back out of the car. And then somebody else said, just go ahead and kill that guy. The feud was over the size of the neighbor's house, which was under construction in the city's historic district. Yeah, I bet. I mean, who writes this stuff? Who makes this stuff up? Now it'll all be about him being an arsonist instead of who killed him and threw him in a stinking landfill. And now they're showing surveillance footage of him wandering around. The source emphasized that the evidence does not shed light on the murder itself, but has helped detectives understand Wheeler's state of mind before he disappeared. Yeah, sure. Boy, the detectives are just absolutely sure that he planted a bomb. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is fogging up, the whole discussion. Wheeler was found dead in a landfill on Friday, and the police are trying to retrace his movements between December 28th and then. That's good with the video, guys. Thanks. Continuing here, the case has drawn national attention. Newark police received roughly 70 media calls Tuesday because Wheeler, 66, lived such a distinguished public life. Oh, he was so distinguished until he wasn't wearing a shoe or a coat outside and was acting crazy. Guy running for his life probably is what happened. And boy, they got him. And to make sure everybody knows Mr. Wheeler's a bad man involved in all the key Pentagon operations. Why would he plant those bombs? Or maybe he was mind control the whole time and blew a gasket. You don't know. You don't know with these people. The sky is the limit. But it's got Black Ops written all over it. People are like, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. Where else does it go? Where else does it point? Running around like he's out of his mind, not wearing a shoe in freezing Arctic weather for days? Bombs at people's houses? Bush aid found in a landfill? I remember having the D.C. madam on a few months before she was killed. And I told her, I said, if you know more stuff about the Johns that your women were seeing, top brass, White House, you name it, is reportedly what was in there, you better tell people right now. And she's like, no, I'm going to hold on to all of that. And then I called her landlord at the condo she owned, and she wasn't going to kill herself. She said she was being followed. She was going to hide the stuff with her mommy. And they hung her in the garage. It didn't matter if I had audio tapes of her live on air saying she'd never kill herself. Old friends went on the news with no evidence and said that she said she was going to kill herself. Let me tell you something. I will never commit suicide. Never, 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 never. And anybody that pops up and says that I told him I was, that person's a stinking New World Order piece of trash. I want that on record right now. Okay? I love life. I've got total gusto for it. So much. I love life so much, I'm willing to put myself in the crosshairs for everybody, including my children, because people before me did it, so we'd have some basic dignity. I'm in love with life. I'm in love with creation. I'm in love with everything good. I know how to recognize what's wholesome. And this New World Order is the opposite of wholesome, and I don't like it. Oh, my gosh. All right, I said I'd get into the news. Here it is.